Welcome to episode 33 of Royally Rumbled. I'm Jordan.
I am Robert.
And today this is week 3.
Episode 33, week 3, Battle for the Crown. Who takes it home today?
Yeah, if you've been keeping up, when we started week 1, head-to-head, AEW versus NXT, NXT won the very first week. They won the crown.
And not to be outdone, the second week, AEW did just a little bit more. Just a little bit of the bubbly, if you will, to put themselves over, and we had AEW win week 2. So here we are, the rubber week, week 3, to see who is going to win.
So since AEW won last week, we decided that we would watch their show live. So that's exactly what we did. So we're going to lead off this week talking about AEW from October 16th. And the first match we have is SCU versus the Best Friends, which is a quarterfinal match in the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament.
Yeah, and we were supposed to get Kazarian and Daniels as the SCU formation for that matchup. And what happened?
Yeah, we got the Lucha Brothers coming on out, acting like heels. Are they heels? Because I thought SCU was supposed to be heels.
Sure.
So Pentagon hit that package pile driver on the ramp to Daniels, and Daniels was done.
Looked brutal, by the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it was a very interesting way to lead the show off, because within the first 2 minutes, you had a guy getting stretchered out. I'm very upset that I didn't get to watch Christopher Daniels wrestle. Very upset.
But you got Scorpio Sky stepping in.
Like I said, I don't know who was supposed to be the heel team and who was supposed to be the face team, because the Best Friends came out. I was 100% certain that they were faces, but they wrestled like heels.
Yeah, there was some sort of turn in the match. The crowd seemed to really get behind SCU in the midst of the match.
But they were behind the Best Friends as well.
Right. No, yeah. They just cheer for everyone. The AEW live crowd cheers for everyone and boos nobody. Even when Jericho told them to shut up and that they're stupid, they cheered that.
But at least Jericho, wrestles like a heel. Like, he's supposed to be a heel.
Oh,
but
yeah. No, absolutely. But
and there's not even necessarily anything bad about booing or cheering a heel versus booing or cheering a face. But, when the psychology of the match centers around the way that you are wrestling and the style that you are wrestling, and you're biting your opponents and kicking them while they're down and attacking the non-legal man, those are all heel tactics. So why are they getting cheered?
These are all great questions, Jordan.
So
I wish I could answer them for you. I wish there was I wish I could. I wish Cody could sit down and answer them for us. But to be honest with you, I don't think that there is an answer.
One of the biggest issues that I had with this match was they were literally squashing Kaz, and the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome."
Yes. Right out of the gate, they were chanting, "This is awesome."
Which, maybe if the situation warranted it, that would be fine, but it's literally two guys beating down one guy. Why am I not supposed to be sympathetic for Kaz in that situation?
Because,
And then, he made the hot tag, and Scorpio Sky came in, and the crowd went bananas.
They erupted.
Which was awesome, because, I'm like, okay, so maybe SCU's the good guys here, and we're supposed to be cheering for them. And we're supposed to feel bad because their partner was attacked right before the match. And Scorpio Sky, wasn't prepared to be in the match, but he came to the rescue to, his partner's aid.
It's a very face move to step up.
He was wrestling with no shoes.
Yeah, at one point he lost one shoe and then threw the other one off.
Because the Best Friends took his shoe off and threw it.
And then bit his foot.
And the crowd's chanting, "This is awesome."
Mm-hmm. They like their feet people in Philly, apparently. They're all feet people.
Shout out Temple U. There was a lot of good elements to the match, don't get me wrong. Like Trent and Chuck taking each other out on the dive.
That was a cool spot. I also liked the assisted tornado DDT.
Yes, always very looks
cool.
really good.
The defeat and suplex combination.
Mm-hmm. Dude, and Kazarian's springboard leg drop.
Yes.
Friggin' thing of beauty. When I was training to wrestle, I was watching some Frankie Kazarian matches and studying them, and I actually adopted his springboard leg drop. I did not do it nearly as good or crisp or beautiful as him.
He just kind of looks like he's levitating.
Yeah.
It's
so
very his body position is very sturdy, like he's not wavering. It looked really good. And then later on we got the Doomsday knee.
Yeah, which is a cool name for a finisher.
Yeah. And then, speaking of finishers.
Well, I guess that's what happens when both teams eventually wrestle like heels. Because earlier in the match, the best friends went for a hug, and Scorpio Sky broke it up, and the crowd booed him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who had just exploded for earlier, they were now booing. So both teams wrestled like heels, and then there was some sort of miscommunication, mistiming on the finish, and Scorpio Sky kind of hit like a drop kick to the side of the head. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
Even if that move goes off without a hitch, what is it supposed to look like?
I don't know.
Right.
We weren't shown any footage of them prior.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm shitting on the move itself. Because I guess like the redirection in the air from the drop kick through the powerbomb could be cool. But that's like a super precision maneuver. And they had gone at that point. How deep was that match? Because it was a 20-minute time limit.
Yeah, they were
like maybe 17 minutes in or something?
15, 17 minutes.
And then you're going to try to do a powerbomb, like a full-blown gut him up powerbomb. And it just didn't work out. Like it was a sloppy exchange on that, and then Scorpio Sky tried to squeeze that drop kick in wherever he could.
Yeah, and then there was also like confusion because I wasn't even 100% sure who the legal man was.
Well, AEW, without telling you, has very lax referee rules. So the referee probably doesn't. He'll just count. If you pin somebody, he will probably just count.
It was just an awkward ending, the whole post-match celebration, because Scorpio Sky was clearly not pleased with his performance there.
Yeah, no, he was very pissed off at himself for that.
But also, he wasn't prepared to be in the match, so...
That's true. He didn't have time to study tape or whatever the kayfabe thing is that wrestlers do before matches. So coming out of the... SCU won by pinfall, and coming out of that match, we got a tune-up match for Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle. Against who are known on the indies as the Beaver Boys, but were billed on Dynamite as local talent.
Yeah, definitely with this match, it was a step up from the last one because there was a clear heel-face dynamic going on. And like you said, this was just a tune-up match for Santana and Ortiz.
And they got huge offense in.
Yeah, Santana looked fantastic in this match, specifically him.
Yeah, we texted each other that we both, as we were watching it, were like, Santana's that dude. Like, he could be a single star all by himself, taking nothing away from Ortiz. But Santana, for whatever reason, pops out for me.
Yeah, he definitely has an it factor.
And then they hit their finisher, which they call the Street Sweeper, which is the blockbuster and sit-out powerbomb.
Yeah, it was a fun little quick match. I'm glad we finally got to see Santana and Ortiz like do things and not just be involved with a beatdown.
Yes, definitely. They needed a match to showcase what they're able to do.
So transitioning from that, we get the AEW Women's Championship match as Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, I said it this time, versus Riho, the champion.
And this was the first title defense for Riho.
And what a title defense it was, Robert.
What a match. So neither Jordan nor myself very much liked this match. I guess is that a nice way to put it?
Yeah, no, we hated it. It was garbage. It was a garbage match.
Holy shit.
Rio is not good.
Did you know, fun fact about Rio, I don't know if you knew this. It's probably the only story that they're pushing
I know where you're
in
going.
a way that is unbearable. She was wrestling since she was 9 years old.
9?
9 years old.
Oh.
Not even 10. She wasn't even double digits, and she began her wrestling training.
The first note that I put for this match is, why are they locking up? And then they rolled around a bit, like, real messy opening. I like that they named Britt Baker's finisher Lockjaw.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a sweet name for the move. They did a good job putting that move over this week. They were just going like way too fast. They were tripping each other up.
Yeah, it was a very sloppy back and forth. And I'm sure, and I believe I texted this to you as well, I'm sure Britt Baker is a great wrestler. She just needs somebody in the ring to help her showcase that.
Someone who's perhaps competent.
And Riho's not who that is. I don't know. And the fans seem completely enamored with her. I don't get it. Didn't capture me night one. Definitely didn't capture me in that tag match last week. And then this week is she's got a title defense against her partner from a week before. And it just swing and a miss for me.
The whole match fell apart. Riho's like good when she's doing like that victory roll into the double stomp. Like I thought that was a really cool move.
Oh, she can hit a victory roll into a double stomp like nobody's business.
But like, and this plays into her size. And I know people are going to be like, oh my God, but just like, listen, there's a right way to wrestle when you're a smaller opponent. And then there's a wrong way. The wrong way is the way Rio wrestles, where she tries to body slam everyone. And it just never works. Like, why would you continuously go to that well? Like, let me try to deadlift this person that is bigger than my entire body. And Britt Baker's not a big woman.
No, she's not.
So, like, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
She's not wrestling. The psychology is off. She's not wrestling for her
she's
size.
just doing moves. Because
later on in this show, the very next match is the main event are showcases in how to wrestle at a smaller size. Like, there's a way to do it. She's very rarely ever on the ground where the opponent is getting heat on her. Right?
Yep.
She's always like overpowering people somehow.
She's like, I'm going to run and do a pump knee or something.
Right. But like her knees don't even register. Like when she straight out, I think she did like a forearm elbow situation to Britt Baker. And I was like, why did Britt, like, she barely even sold it because she probably didn't realize it happened.
But her whole moveset should be using her opponent's size and weight against them and their own momentum. Because like you said, the next match and then the main event, we saw a lot of that. and it made sense. So
Hell,
I'm
even
sorry,
technically,
but
the next 3 matches on this card have somebody who is severely undersized to everybody else. With Jurassic Express, Pac, and Darby Allin, right?
yeah.
And they all are very capable. Pac is so believable.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Riho, who's not wrestling for what her size is.
No.
At all. At all. And it's 3 straight weeks of her on TV, by the way. She has not appeared. And had a match even. She's had matches 3 straight weeks.
Yeah, it's time to maybe showcase some other women. Maybe. Perhaps.
If they have any.
They do. They have
have
a whole women's roster that, like, most of them haven't even shown up on TV. I liked the finish because Britt Baker had her in a submission. Riho used her weight to roll her up.
She did. She escaped it. She escaped it like she was AJ Styles on Samoa Joe. And got the pin.
I don't know. It could have been a lot better. It should have been a lot better. Stop trying to body slam people at like the start of the match.
But you don't... Yeah, she doesn't even work them down to a body slam. She's like, Northern Lights.
Yeah, all of a sudden she's just hitting you with the Northern Lights. And I'm like, how is this 98-pound woman lifting you over her head? Like, I get it. She clearly does it. So, like, obviously it's possible. But, like, when you're in a fight, you're not just going to...
At least work towards the move.
Yeah.
Weaken your opponent's legs.
Or get her while she's
back.
running at you so you could pop your hips and flip her over.
Yeah, it's just as simple as that. And then they could be like, she used her momentum against her. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Hit her 3 times.
She's like, strike, strike, strike. Northern Lights. I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. And she's their inaugural women's champion. So, I don't know what can they do about it.
I'm just excited for someone else to win it.
Anyway, so after that was over, they had a handshake after the match because they were both face. And then we got another tag team match in the tag team tournament to determine the first ever AEW tag team champions. It was Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Brothers. And we found out upon their entrance that Luchasaurus tore his hamstring in warm-ups and is out indefinitely, I guess.
Yeah, dude, that sucks.
It so sucks because this match would have probably been the highest rated match we've seen since covering these 2 shows, in my opinion, if Luchasaurus was in this match. Because he's awesome. The dynamic between him and Jungle Boy is great. And then on the other side, we have my favorite wrestler that doesn't wrestle for WWE in the world, Pentagon Jr., and his brother Phoenix.
Yeah, that match would have been totally different had we actually gotten Luchasaurus in it.
But as it stands, it wasn't a bad match.
No.
And it was an example of how to use your diminutive size to your advantage in a wrestling match.
Yeah. And they really played up, I guess Lucha Brothers are heel, because they really played up Pentagon Jr., like, just mocking him at the start of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they wrestled was heelish. So I guess that's what we're doing.
Other than the crowd relentlessly cheering for them, they were heels.
Yeah, I don't understand how we're in week 3 of AEW and we were just treated to seeing the Lucha Brothers in action.
But we got Riho 3 straight weeks. So there you go.
Lucha Brothers' entrance was awesome.
It was. And it was actually one of the first times during an AEW production that I heard the entrance music clearly.
Yes.
And I liked it.
Yes, me too. Yeah, I'm just really glad that they played Marco's size into it because clearly wrestling Twitter was outraged. And then the other half of wrestling Twitter was outraged at the outrage.
Well, but that's what we do. We have to stack the outrages.
Yeah. But they played his size into it. They had great shine every time Marco and Jungle Boy got any offense in. It always looked believable, and it looked
because
good.
he was just flying.
Yeah.
I loved Pentagon working the slaps and the kicks, just completely overbearing.
Yep.
On Marco for a while.
Yep.
And then that single arm military press.
Oh,
how fucking awesome was that? And then Jungle Boy tried to come in and make the save, and Phoenix kicked his head off. Phoenix has, going all the way back to Lucha Underground, some of the best super kicks ever, and he perfectly times the slap on his thigh with that kick, and the sound. I don't know if it's the material of his pants even, because it's so consistently the most nasty sound you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
I love it. Even when I go back and watch Lucha Underground, I can't believe the sound that it makes when he slaps his thigh for a super kick. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude, and Jungle Boy really impressed me in this match.
Yes.
Because I had never seen him before, but very, very impressed. Loved the way he sold, loved his offense, and I think, like we had said earlier, if Luchasaurus was in this match, it would have been a completely different match.
I also a quick heel tag team tactic that they kept going to was, as Pentagon is working Marco in the ring, in his corner, just pounding him down, not even doing quick tags and stuff. Phoenix is off of the apron on the other side of the ring, constantly cutting Jungle Boy down.
Yeah.
He did it like 5 times. And I was like, this is great, because Marco has no chance.
Yeah.
Like, that was what they did. They overbeared. So so if Marco was just throwing power moves the entire match, you'd be like, this is dumb. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, it made sense. And like I said, they played up their cocky heel personas. It sucked because we got a commercial halfway through, so they slowed everything down. But
yep.
Yeah, it was a fun finish. We got the cross arm breaker back.
Yes.
And then that led into the package pile driver.
The package pile driver with the stomp.
With the double stomp, yes. Which is a great tag team finish.
Yeah. To the, what did I call them yesterday to you in the phone? I was like a high school freshman and a second grader, is what I said.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and they got the pinfall victory, and the Lucha Brothers are moving on in the tournament.
Moving on in the show, though, we got another tag team match. It's just tag team matches left and right here. We got Pac and Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
And you mean Jon Moxley?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean, because he got a huge pop just because of Justin Roberts' announcing and the way that he elongated Jon like he's about to say Cena, but instead he just said Moxley.
Yeah.
And the crowd lost their minds.
Yeah. And Moxley did his patented, I don't know if I'm going to walk forward or backward thing. Yeah, this match was a lot of fun.
Dude, it was good. At first I was very confused because everyone was just brawling. Was just... I
have the word brawling in my notes.
It was just, why are we all brawling? I don't know. And then, Hangman went right after Pac. I wasn't sure that, obviously Pac isn't the legal man, but still, Hangman's over here diving out of the ring at him.
Yep.
And at first I was, not interested in this match, when it started, because of the way it was happening. Mm-hmm. And then Hangman took a bump on the edge of the ring, and I almost threw up. And at that point I was like, all right, I'm glued. I'm in this.
Yeah. And right after that, Omega started hitting these Snapdragon suplexes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were gnarly.
Dude, Kenny's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this match specifically kind of highlighted how good he actually is.
Yeah, he completely owned the ring. Completely owned the ring while he was in it.
And then, like, Hangman's still killing it. Like, he's hitting those beautiful moonsaults. And then the huge suicide dive from Hangman.
Yes.
Like, wiping him and Pac out. Like, holy crap, dude. It just kind of makes Jon Moxley's suicide dive pale in comparison.
Yes.
Because we saw that, like, literally right before. And I was like, oh, he just did the thing where he, like, leaps out and pushes you away. And then here comes Hangman, like, full speed ahead, like, taking your head off.
Nowhere near the body sacrifice that Hangman is offering.
Yeah. But then I guess disqualifications don't matter.
Nope.
Because referee's discretion or something.
Yeah, unclear. Unclear.
Because Moxley did hit Omega in the gut with that bat. And then Pac came in to kind of break it up. And he cut his finger open, and Moxley just used the normal DDT. He's just back to using the normal DDT.
Well, maybe sometimes it's worth more to lift him, and sometimes it's just worth to get the quick one.
Yeah.
And then Kenny hit the V trigger, which is the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hangman hit the Deadeye for the victory.
Yeah, that was an awesome, solid finish of the match. Definitely could have been better, given those little confusing bits, but otherwise, for the most part, I was thoroughly entertained.
Yes, very good match. And then we transition to the main event of the evening, the first AEW Championship defense for Chris Jericho, taking on Darby Allin.
Yes, in a Philadelphia street fight. They had a good start and really good back and forth. And then Jericho took charge and used...
Yeah.
But then Allin used all of his momentum against him, which is the correct way to put together a big man, little man match.
Yeah, Darby was out of the gate hot. And then Jericho took control when he tossed him into the corner unceremoniously, and he just died on the outside.
Oh, yeah, he just does that thing where he, like, swings himself through the ropes.
Yeah.
And just crashes and burns.
Yeah, and it looks brutal every time.
That's his Shawn Michaels corner bump.
Yes,
where Shawn, like, flips over the ropes. Darby Allin just dives through the ropes.
Yeah, never touches the turnbuckle or a rope and just disappears to the outside. I sat up off of the couch and put my hands on my head because I thought it was an accident. Like, I legitimately.
If I didn't see him do that exact thing before, I'd think it was an accident too.
I was like, "Oh my god, he's dead."
He was like gripping his knee on the outside.
Yep, totally sold it. Totally sold it.
Dude, that lawn dart into the stunner thing was cool.
Yes, I wish there was a name for it.
Yeah, nobody called it. JR just called it a stunner this week.
They were just like, "Oh." I keep whenever he does it, I put it in my notes as a flip reverse stunner. I don't know what else to call it.
But
he's got to come up with some weird goth kid name for it.
Yeah, I really, really liked this match a lot, and I was very interested up until the duct tape. I don't think we needed that. I thought it was cool because we got some cool spots from it, but I don't think someone like Jericho needed to do that to someone like Darby Allin.
I understand the argument against it, because why would Jericho, your 48-year-old world champion who's been everywhere and done everything, need to tape the hands of a 150-pound man to beat him?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I get the argument that Jericho is like the only true heel in the company, I guess. and wanted to make the kid suffer because he was the quote unquote pain maker. So, I don't have as negative a take on the taping as you do or some people that I've seen. But I understand why there's the negativity towards it.
Yeah.
I loved what Alan was able to do with his arms taped.
For sure.
Because it still wasn't like it was a drawback for him, but it was almost like he didn't need his arms anyway. He was still capable of doing his offense with zero arm work.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, the moonsault, the diving front flip, I don't know if you want to call it the Phoenix body attack or whatever the hell that corkscrew thing was that he did. Jericho was great through all of that, saving him on those moves, so he didn't actually, he was actually taking them really well.
Yeah, he protected him.
And then Jericho powerbombed him onto the skateboard. And I was like, oh boy. And he kicked out, which I thought was insane.
Yeah, I thought that was a little much at that point. And that's why, like, part of me is like, all right, you're taping this dude's hands behind his back. You're beating the hell out of him. Why is he kicking out of, like, something like that?
That big. And I had said to you when the match had started, it's a street fight for the world title. Why wouldn't you pick up your skateboard and swing it at his face?
Yeah.
Maybe Jericho thought that was a possibility, and that's why he taped his arms. I don't know. I'm totally fishing there. I'm just saying. But so here's where I do have an issue with the taping of his hands. Because not only did Jericho need the tape to win.
This is part 2 of mine.
He also needed Jake Hager to come out and just punch him in the face off the top rope. My personal feeling about it is one or the other.
Yeah.
If there was no outside interference and he just had the arms taped and eventually submitted to the walls of Jericho or whatever they're calling it in AEW, then I'm like, okay. Or if the match is going great and then there's the outside interference and there's no tape, I'm like, okay. But doubling up, I think, is a lot.
And I thought it was weird how Jericho had to distract Ref Aubrey.
Yes.
Because it was a
street fight. Because why wouldn't she just let that go?
But it's a street fight.
True.
And there were rope breaks,
but there was also a rope break. And the crowd was very vocal against the rope break.
Yeah.
They literally chanted, "It's a street fight," when the rope break happened. So that's kind of a difficult spot because there's no set rules.
Yeah.
Why even have referees out there other than the count to 3?
I don't know. They don't explain, and commentary doesn't do enough to explain because they don't know half the time either.
They are just there having fun.
Jim Ross is like, this is a street fight, but he's a good ring technician. He knows where he's at in the ring. He knows where the rope break is.
Holy shit.
But it's the truth.
It might be the first time ever in a street fight that somebody was called a ring technician. That's great. I didn't think of that at all. Holy shit.
It's just like, I don't know. I wish Hager didn't interfere. I think there's no harm in having Darby Allin lose to a guy like Jericho, because I think it would have just elevated him regardless. But to stack the deck so much against him.
Yeah. It's like, not only are you against Chris Jericho, right? And it's a, I guess, no rules match. And then he tapes your arms behind your back. And then his big MMA heater came in and rocked you, so you couldn't win. Like that's so many things against him. That's one or two too many things, in my opinion, right?
Yep. once again, not a bad match by any means.
No.
It was one of the best matches of the night.
Definitely.
Just some logic stuff.
Again.
Yeah.
However, this episode of AEW did not finish in a pull-apart brawl. So,
Yeah, there's a first time for everything.
yeah, they came out and had a little bit of the bubbly to celebrate Jericho's massive victory over the 150-pound Darby Allin.
Which I guess is kind of funny.
Yeah, like that's hilarious. They're like, "Yeah, you did it!" Like they didn't believe he could. Like he overcame something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that's funny. That's funny heel shit that I like.
So we decided to go ahead and give AEW Week 3 from October 16th a C.
And that's everything taken into account. We know that the last 3 matches were pretty good, but those first 3 matches were kind of lackluster in our opinion. But if you disagree, let us know. You could always add us on the Royally Rumbled Twitter or Instagram or Facebook even.
So moving on from AEW over to NXT, we kicked things off with the return of Tommaso Ciampa versus Angel Garza.
It's unbelievable how fast he came back from that surgery. Unbelievable.
And he looks fantastic. He's in ridiculously good shape.
He might be in the best shape he's ever been in.
Yeah. Well, now he could feel his friggin' hands, so... the match itself started a little too fast for me. It slowed down a bit after they got their footing, but like it started way too fast, and I think it kind of tripped them both up.
Yeah.
Ciampa started firing up on him, which was awesome. And then that running knee in the corner looked brutal.
Yeah, that huge knee strike, man. I was like, that's one of the big spots of the match where it just changed the whole momentum.
Yeah. And Angel Garza got some good offense in, kind of scattered throughout. They did that whole deal with the pants gimmick where he ripped it off.
And then Ciampa was about to do the fairy tale ending to the pants when Angel Garza tried to rush in and stop him because don't desecrate the pants.
So Ciampa winds up catching him in the ropes with the pants to hit that snap DDT, which he calls Willow's Bell, and it just looks so good.
Vicious.
So good.
That's the word that I could, like, if you asked me to describe Ciampa's return in one word, it's vicious. He was vicious in that match.
Yeah, I agree. I really love Tommaso Ciampa. Really glad he's back.
The next match, we got a tag team match. NXT not to be outdone by giving us tag team matches also. But we got Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch taking on one half of Imperium, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel.
And dude, they mentioned that Fabian Aichner was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I totally forgot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They had mentioned him cutting weight to make that 205 weight limit in that initial tournament. I completely forgot about that.
So did
but
I. So did I.
He's so good.
Both teams. Incredible tag team maneuvers, teamwork, tag team wrestling. Like they are these four guys are fantastic specialists in that regard.
Yes.
I'll say it every time Danny Burch is on a show, so I get the opportunity to talk about him. He's super underrated, and I love his work. Love it. He's like 1 or 2 generations too late for wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a real throwback kind of guy.
Yeah. And then once the match broke down, it got even wilder.
Yeah, it was not. They're super fast paced. I just kept writing that down. Fast, quick tags, fast. That double springboard moonsault, dude. Unbelievable.
And even worse, the kick out of that shocked me, genuinely shocked me. I was expecting the 3. It was one of those moments where it was 1, 2, and then I said the word 3 as he kicked out. And I was like, oh, I'm sitting on my couch. My arms went up in the air.
And then Imperium hit what they call the European bomb.
Dope. I love
Such a
that
cool
move.
tag finisher.
Because it's like a hesitation. He hits the European uppercut, and then there's like a moment where he like holds you and then slams you.
Yeah, like you're able to separately take the impacts as opposed to at the same time.
Yeah. It just, the way that they did it looks different, but in a good way.
Yeah. And Imperium picked up the win, obviously. They were joined in the ring by Alexander Wolf, who was at ringside, but never made himself known.
He didn't have to.
No.
And that's the beauty of that group.
But that's what I'm saying. It's such a strange thing to have a second or a third guy out there and to have them not even be near any action.
I forgot he was there.
Crazy. Yeah, so did I. So I think kudos to them for that. That's amazing. But is it part of their ring general?
I mean, probably. We could probably safely assume that. So then the match that followed that, we were treated to Caden Carter versus Io Shirai.
Give me all the Io Shirai.
Yes, exactly. I really liked the way that the match kicked off. They both looked really good. They both got offense in on the other. They both were reversing moves from the other. And then Caden even got more offense at the start.
Yeah. Super athletic by the both of them, I thought. Really good match.
Yeah, and Carter actually did that whole walk up the ropes, roll through in a victory roll, similar to Riho does, but instead of hitting the double stomp, she hit a super kick after the roll through.
Yes.
And it looked really good. The whole setup for it made sense. She used Io Shirai's movement and momentum against her. Really cool. And then we got that beautiful, disgusting German suplex from Io Shirai.
I was going to say, talk about using somebody's weight and momentum against them. Yeah, Io, it almost looked like she didn't get her over all the way. There was a point where I was like, they're both going to get dumped on their heads. And she just completely obliterated her. And then went to the top rope and hit the low angle moonsault again.
Yeah.
And that is a quick, she's on the top rope and then she's bang and pinning you. I almost love the low angle one more because the other moonsault, the huge moonsault, is done by everybody.
Yeah.
But you the body control to be okay, I'm going to do a backflip, but I'm going to completely change my trajectory on it is insane to me.
Yeah. The amount of athleticism that it takes to do that in a controlled manner.
Yeah, I'm huge for Io Shirai, who picked up the victory here.
Same.
And then Io started a promo, and Rhea Ripley interrupted, which I want that match right now.
Well, it seems like we're going to get it.
I'll stop recording, and I will watch that match. I can't wait. Gonna be insane. Then coming out of that, we got another match that I couldn't wait to see because these two guys are insane with one another. How do you have that good of chemistry with anybody? Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic.
Dude, I don't know. They've wrestled all over the world, and it was so good. And every match has been so different from the other.
It has
so
been
radically different.
This was like Kong versus Godzilla. This match.
Yeah.
They were just brutalizing one another with power moves and strikes.
And Keith Lee worked the arm and the shoulder the whole match from the get-go.
The whole match. The entire match.
It led off with that shoulder block. And from that point, he just targeted the arm and just continued to attack.
he did the arm lift on a guy that's 6'7", almost 300 pounds, which I was like, this is insane. Yeah, and then hit him with the pounce.
Oh, I love that move. I love that move.
Keith Lee doing the pounce is everything.
The match continued to go. We got the frog splash on Dijakovic's arm.
Loved it.
And he just continually worked that body part the whole match. We got that big, massive spirit bomb.
Yes.
Which led to a rollout, which was smart on Dijakovic's part. Because we're not doing near falls and killing finishers. They didn't do a near fall / kick out of a finisher the whole match.
No.
Which, if you're normally watching WWE, you'll see, oh my God, Shawn Michaels hit a super kick. He's covering him. 1, 2, kick out.
Yep. They kick out of everything. So they didn't go to that well for this match, which I thought was super smart. And then Dijakovic has some of my favorite offense on NXT. His moveset is fantastic. And that cyclone kick will pop me every time.
It's just impressive to see how large he is. And then just the speed and the rate of motion that he's able to accomplish.
Yeah. Dijakovic might be 3 to 4 inches shorter than Kevin Nash. But Kevin Nash could not move that way. Nor did he have to, technically, not putting down Kevin Nash. Just saying, size comparison-wise.
Yeah.
Dijakovic can run circles around Kevin Nash.
Yeah. And, dude, Keith Lee, I can't even begin to express how much I actually enjoy him in the ring. I think legitimately he could be the future world champion / face of a company.
Absolutely love the dude. And I think what you're saying is that you bask in his glory,
for he is limitless.
The massive suplex after 3 attempts,
dude. The deadlift. Oh
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
They do a great job capturing facial expressions on NXT, specifically for Keith Lee, because it happened in their last match.
He's like, nope, you're not. He's not getting out of this. I'm doing it. Killed it.
And just when you thought Dijakovic had the upper hand, Keith Lee reverses out of the electric chair position into a poison Rana, a reverse Dragon Rana, whatever you want to call it. It was friggin' insane. He dumped him on his head.
He did. The level of trust that you have to have at the size that they are to be reverse Rana and call that is unbelievable.
But going from trust to when they were sitting on the top rope, they were just up there hanging out. Yeah. The core strength to stay up there.
They went to the top rope so many times, and I thought it was awesome. Because they made this match different from the last one. What haven't we done? Well, we haven't sat on the top turnbuckle for almost a whole match. Let's do it.
Oh, God. That's got to be 500-600 pounds on that top rope.
On that turnbuckle? Yeah. And you know what? It's funny that you said their weights together, because as the match started, I went, what if they were a tag team?
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine?
Oh, my God.
It's over for everybody if they're a tag team. The match ended with Roderick Strong coming out thinking that he was smarter than everyone, trying to get a disqualification finish to end the match, which I thought really soured it.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I just didn't think it was necessary. You could have gotten to number one contender a million different ways. Double count out, one of their first times that they faced one another. You know what I mean? Something.
I think they just wanted a different finish.
Double down where neither of them answer the call of 10.
No, for sure. But I'm saying like Roderick Strong would be like, oh, they're not even good enough. They can't even beat each other. So why should they get a shot at me? You know, like at least this way they made it so that like Roddy's the shit heel, you know?
Yeah, because next week?
It's next week.
Next week we get Roderick Strong defending the North American Championship against Lee and Dijakovic in a triple threat match for the North American Championship.
Oh my God, are they going to be in War Games?
You know, I was thinking that too.
The team of Undisputed Era versus Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor, Keith Lee, and Dominic Dijakovic.
Oh my God.
In War Games.
I have another idea for War Games that's coming up in a little bit here.
Okay. But let's talk about Matt Riddle coming off of his loss to Adam Cole in his championship match. He gets Bronson Reed here, the Australian strong style guy.
It's a real interesting mix of styles.
I like it.
Me too.
I like Bronson Reed. I like his look. I like his style. I like the way he moves in the ring because it's very surprising. It's not what you think.
No, it's definitely not.
But Riddle got pretty much a lot of the offense in.
Mm-hmm.
Reed kind of stomped him out for a little bit, took over, but then Riddle connects with that bro to sleep. He connects with that giant power bomb, which I have no idea how he got him up.
I don't know.
And then Bronson kicked out of the final flash.
Yeah.
Which shocked me. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, Reed looked really good, but Riddle kind of looked almost unbothered, which kind of bugged me. But like the finish was really cool. I liked how they set it up where Reed tried to like go up and over him, and Riddle literally just caught him.
In a tombstone.
I'm like, Jesus.
He carried that man. It's insane.
He carried that man.
I can't believe it. Like I was in utter disbelief watching that finish because I was like, how did he get that guy up?
It was good. It was good.
It was very good. So Riddle won by pin. And then we got the return match for Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox back from injury, taking on Taynara Conti.
Yeah, I love Taynara's music, and I love her gimmick. Mm-hmm. My issue with this match is they seemed very rehearsed.
Yeah. It was like they've definitely done that exact match at the PC like 5 times.
Yeah. It's like they were waiting for each other to kind of react.
I did like how the arm drags and the judo throws looked.
Yes.
And I thought it was awesome how Conti was holding on for all of it and locking in another one and just rolling through.
Yeah, I liked that they were calling the judo throws on commentary, and then they happened. So it was a nice setup into that. And then once Tegan fired up, it was all over.
Pretty much.
We got the senton, the crossbody, and then the shiniest wizard for the finish.
That senton was amazing.
Dude, right?
Because she does it like reverse from what everybody else does. Like Owens does the cannonball, I guess, and he front flips. She like put her feet up and slammed her back into you, like the opposite direction.
Yeah, she like jumps into it instead of through it. Yeah, I thought that was super, super cool. Yeah, it's definitely different and a good way to stick out. I'm kind of upset that Tegan Nox's big return kind of got overshadowed by Tommaso Ciampa's big return.
Yeah, 2 on the same shows a lot.
But like you had said, we were talking earlier, there were a lot of matches on this show.
A lot of matches, dude. 8 matches.
Like, it's a lot.
It's 4 matches an
hour. For a 2-hour show. That was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't think it's necessarily a good thing either.
No, they could have cut 2 of these matches and left a little bit more room to breathe.
Yeah, they could have had Pete Dunne and Damian Priest go longer, and they could have had Tegan Nox and Tanara go longer.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would have done.
But coming out of so Nox won by pin after the shiniest wizard. Yep. And then after the match, she was interviewed really quickly, and Dakota Kai came out to celebrate with her friend, and was immediately interrupted by Shayna Baszler and the Horsewomen, who Shayna mocked Tegan and asked her if she thinks she deserves a title shot also, and told her to get in line, basically. But how awesome would it be if we got a women's War Games match this year with all of the people that Shayna's been pissing off?
Oh my God.
And versus Shayna and the Horsewomen.
Dude.
How great.
Give me that.
And then you just pick one of them and make them heel and put them on Shayna's team, and you got 4-on-4.
Give me that.
How crazy will that be?
I love it.
Like I'm 100% for it. I just wanted to throw it out there because I feel like they're setting something up very big for. There's a lot of women involved in this, and that there's really only one way out, right?
That would make sense. They did say that they're counting down to War Games.
Yeah, so just saying. Just throwing it out there for you.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, just throwing it out there for you. Anyway, following that, we got a rebound match from last week with Boa taking on Killian Dane.
I like the camera work in Dane's entrance.
Yes!
Thought that was really cool. Every time they changed to a different angle, they would do the dramatic zoom. It worked.
I think that's awesome. Little shit like that. But anyway.
Yeah, Boa brought the fight right to Dane, which I thought was cool.
Huge kicks right out of the gate, utilizing his Muay Thai background, they said.
Yeah. It's nice that we actually got to see some action from Boa this week.
Yeah.
But one thing that I noticed, he was selling his ribs throughout. Even when he was like taking the fight to him, he was like, "Oh, I'm stretching my ribs out. This hurts. This is tender," which I thought was awesome. Good on him for thinking of that and doing that. One part specifically that I noticed was Dane was on the outside and Boa rolled out the ring to run around at him, and when he was running, he like winced.
He held his ribs.
And I was like, "Yep, that's so smart." And then all of a sudden Dane just squashes him with that running low crossbody.
That crossbody always looks like a car accident. Absolutely brutal. And then to do it to the guy that you busted his ribs up the week before, awesome storytelling.
Yes, definitely.
And then he hit the running senton. And then Killian Dane hit not one, not two, but 3 Vader bombs, which I just thought was overkill in the best way.
Yeah. And I actually wrote this down while I was watching the match. I think Killian Dane would have been WWF champion at some point in 1993 and 1994.
Oh, definitely.
I'm like looking at him, I'm going, he would have been a great opponent for guys like Undertaker, guys like Diesel, guys like Psycho Sid, like he's got that look.
And I'm far more impressed with him with this attitude change than I was ever with him while he was Insanity.
Yeah.
Just my
he has something to shine now.
Yeah.
You know, he stands
It's all on
out.
him now. Yep.
I thought the submission finish was very interesting.
Yeah, they went with a what did they call it? It was a
modified camel clutch.
Yeah, modified camel clutch. It had like an abdominal stretch involved in it as well, which I thought was obviously the ribs. It's like not camel clutch will hurt your ribs, but then to turn them sideways.
Yeah.
Thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All of the storytelling within the match made sense. All of the moves
and it was quick,
sense.
But there was a lot. They moved a lot forward.
Yeah.
And then we get the main event of the evening. For me, It's the match of Wednesday. It's the best match of Wednesday.
Pete Dunne versus Damian Priest.
The Archer of Infamy. That's the nickname that they kept saying that I couldn't remember last week.
Yeah, this match was great. It's a good way to put it. I love that Dunn got the upper hand by using the joint manipulation right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It's so cool the way he just powers his opponent's arms down and like steps on their arms. Like that stuff all looks like it'll kill you. And that goes along with like clearly Pete Dunne was the undersized man in this match.
Yeah.
So,
I was just going to say he's working his size because he's giving himself an equalizer.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants their fingers broken. Doesn't matter how big you are.
Exactly. Dunn hit that low missile drop kick to his knee.
Yes.
Taking his knee out. It's just like smart maneuvers throughout this whole match. Unlike the way he was doing. He was tearing him down. Priest
reversed like that hammer lock that Pete does when he's like body scissors on you while you're standing.
Yep.
He reversed that into a Falcon Arrow during a commercial break. The picture-in-picture commercial break got one of the biggest moves of the match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that was insane.
And we had talked about it last week, how you had said if they cut to a picture-in-picture commercial, most of the time the wrestlers will slow things down. But you had said they need to speed things up. They need to do bigger shit to keep people's attention on that picture-in-picture. Otherwise, it's just like, why even bother with the picture-in-picture? So I think that they
just
executed that very well here.
Yeah. Definitely. I thought what they did during the commercial break in this match was fantastic. And also in the commercial break, Priest locked Dunn up for a suplex, and Dunn reversed it into an X-plex. I was like, oh my God. That's a signature maneuver. That's amazing.
Yeah, Dunn also hit that high-angle Liger bomb. Priest really didn't do a lot until he hit that Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
Which I popped for. I was like, oh my God, he hit a Razor's Edge.
I do love Scott Hall. I own all of his Elite action figures. Anyway. All 6 of them.
The Cyclone kick.
Yep.
In the corner. Followed by that Frankensteiner.
Or wait, slightly before that, he did the step up front senton to the outside.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Damn.
A guy his size hit that middle rope and then leapt over it and did a front flip and landed on Pete Dunne. Amazing.
Oh,
blew me away.
Yeah, and this was my first time really getting to see Damian Priest like sell and like do his thing. His entrance is awesome.
Yes.
Just like the way he carries himself in a match is awesome. Just throwing those vicious kicks. He hit that sit out choke slam, the fall from grace, I think he calls it.
Yep.
Great exchange back and forth from the two of them. Just like when they were trading blows and Priest is just landing those kicks. Oh, they were striking each other like their lives depended on it.
And I loved the finish of this match.
Really?
I did. I loved it. Because it was a clear heel-face dynamic. And I feel like the story was Priest felt like he took Dunn to the absolute limit and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get the victory. So he had to do something more. So he gets him in the corner, somehow also distracts the referee in a way that I thought was really interesting.
It was.
And then stuck a low blow kick in there. And out of nowhere, just hit him with a low blow kick, but then hit his finisher and then pinned him. Loved it. Because I don't think it makes Dunn look weak to have lost to a low blow and then take the finisher.
No.
So you get your new heel bad guy over in a big way in his first big match on NXT. And Pete Dunne can take a loss, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you get your cake and you get to eat it too.
And it was a great match. So, like, neither guy looked bad throughout.
No. Oh, my God. It was a phenomenal match.
My issue with the low blow finish was, I think, I just kind of wish Damian Priest did enough to get the clean win. But clearly this isn't over.
And he also, earlier in the match, he also went for the dirty pin by getting his feet on the ropes.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so he's been...
They might have even telegraphed that the end was going to be something like that earlier.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. I definitely see that.
Like, he showed his willingness to not play by the rules, necessarily.
Yeah.
Which I liked, because he's such an interesting character. Having seen him a few times watching ROH when he was Punishment Martinez, I was very interested to see how that would translate over here. And I think in some aspects he has a better character now because he's not, quote-unquote, himself. He gets to lose himself into a character.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see where they go with that.
For me, that was the match of this week, really, comparing the two shows. But speaking of the two shows, we gave AEW a C for this week, and we added everything up for NXT, and we came up with a B for NXT. We just thought the matches had a little bit more to them.
Yeah, definitely. NXT wins the crown this week. It is now 2-1, with NXT picking up their second crown. And we want to know what you guys think. So reach out to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @RoyallyRumbled. If you want to follow us individually and tell us why we're right/wrong, you can. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram @JL24FPS, unless I have you blocked.
And you could find... I was not expecting that. And you can find me, Robert, on Instagram and Twitter @Yesball.
So thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any critiques, any questions, comments, you just want to shout out on the show, be sure to reach out to us. We're always active and available on social media. For Royally Rumbled, I'm Jordan.
I'm Robert.
Who's going to win the battle for the crown? Tune in next week and each and every Friday after that to find out.